Hello, my name is Amadeus. I'm very excited about my move. It's coming up pretty soon in a couple of months. I gotta go. My daddy needs to pet me right now.
Hello, my name is Simba. I'm moving in a couple of months. If you want to send letters and snacks, those are my favorites. I like treats and tug of war. Please send them to my new place. Daddy will give you the address, right, Daddy?
Of course I will, my Babylon. My Babylon and my Bubba Bear. My Babylon and my Bubba Bear. Look at them boys. Look at those faces. Look at those faces. The best, beautiful faces in the whole wide world. Hey, back again. I told you I'd make a movie someday. This is really more of a vlog. Told you I'd make a vlog another day. Day 12. Woohoo. All right. Okay, so I've been editing on this slide project. You can probably see it behind me, potentially. I don't know if the emittance and the way the lights and stuff hit it, if it's going to bleed a little bit of it out, but it's right there. And I've been working on that slideshow. This is taking a little bit longer than I expected. Partially because of my eyes and partially because I haven't done video work in a while, and so I'm kind of getting reacquainted with it and getting back into the groove and the move of the jive of the hive, or I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Anyway, so I've been working on that all day. I'm about a third of the way through it. But I've come to these little moments where if I didn't like a soundbite, I went in and re-recorded it. All the audio is completed. I've done all the audio recording. I got all the slides. I'm putting them all together right now with audio description. And my goal is to try and complete an audio described version of it, which means it also tells you what the images look like and everything on the screen. And then one that's just got the audio narration on it for the slide, but it doesn't necessarily say there's a logo of this and this is what it looks like. So two different things. Those are the two things that's the thing I'm working on right now and hoping to complete by the end of, by first thing tomorrow morning and get it sent off. I kept saying I wanted to get it sent off by yesterday morning. That just didn't happen. I mean, it just took more time than I expected. And of course, I'm challenged by sleep issues. I fall asleep at just random times like that, like a narcoleptic or something. I know it has to do with my sleep disorder. But anyways, so here's a sad thing that happened today for history. And then we'll talk a little bit about history. But it was reported this evening to show you what the day and hour is. It's right around 11 p.m. Central Time in the United States, which is Texas is Central for me. Not Arkansas, it's 10 o'clock in Arkansas too, or 11 o'clock in Arkansas as well. But anyways, in Central Texas. Today, this evening, I think it was around the 8 o'clock time frame, it was announced on the news that Lisa Marie Presley, who was 53 years old, the daughter of rock legend Elvis Presley, Elvis the Pelvis, that she passed away from cardiac arrest because of some sort of a cardiac issue. She was rushed to the hospital, but of course did not survive, unfortunately. And 53, very young. And it's really interesting because I was recalling in a conversation to my mother that I think I thought Michael Jackson wasn't much older when he passed. He was in that age range, and he actually was a little younger. So Michael Jackson died in June of 2009, and he was only 50 at the time. So they passed away both very young. And of course, if you heard the news yesterday, Jeff Beck passed away. I don't think I mentioned that. My friend Robert has been into Jeff Beck for years and years. He actually introduced me to Jeff Beck, but honestly, outside of his name, I couldn't tell you specifically things that Jeff Beck has done because I've never really followed musicians in that same kind of way that Robert is. Robert's really into music, and he's worked with people who've worked with a variety of bands, big bands, and recorded some of his music and things like that. And but he would know who Jeff Beck was. He could sit here and kind of, just. That was like my imitation of not a fax machine, but what do you call it? The little accounting machines. That was a really horrible impression of an accounting machine. Anyways, So sad that Lisa Marie Presley died. But I looked up just a second ago. I looked up this day in history, and actually, this day in history had a few really interesting notes. I mean, there's a number of interesting ones, but some that really speak to my history and life. A couple of them are before I was born. Actually, I think all of them are before I was born, but they definitely ended up impacting my life as I grew older. So back in 1951, Rush Limbaugh, the conservative talk show host on radio, probably the most successful conservative talk show host in radio history, was born on January 12th of 1951. He survived until he was 70, but died of relations to cancer. I believe it was lung cancer. Was it a little after his birthday? A couple of weeks, couple of months after his birthday? It might have been around February. Computer, when did Rush Limbaugh die?
Rush Limbaugh died on February 17th.
Yes, February 17th. Computer. Yeah, lung cancer. So 70 years. He became more impactful in my life when I was living in Houston, because one of the gentlemen who worked for me was conservative. I was probably more well known as a liberal back then. Or I wasn't well known, but was more acknowledged as a liberal back then. Even though I was sort of on the fence, I voted for Obama the first time. I can't honestly tell you why, other than the speeches. I wasn't as politically involved. I just kind of listened to the little rhetoric on the news and this and that. And I do agree with some liberal agenda things, not all liberal. More socially liberal to some degree, but I'm very moderate socially liberal. I'm more conservative, fiscally. So that being said, he made an impact on my life, sort of really starting more in the 2013 range. And I followed him for a number of years, not religiously, meaning I didn't listen to him every day. But there were times where I definitely listened to him, more consistently, probably in the latter teens, 18, 19, 20, 21, up until the time he passed away, to the point where my family at the time was actually more liberal. And I remember having, debates and arguments with my family about, well, Rush is this and that. And then, of course, they would listen to him, and they started to realize, kind of the trap that the Democrats or liberal side of the really liberal side of the Democrats leads you into. I don't think all Democrats are necessarily extreme liberals. I think they're intimidated by their party, just as I think there are, people who are intimidated by their party on the Republican side. Let me be clear that I don't necessarily think that most Republicans and Democrats are that different. I think there's a certain amount of them that are different, and those are the ones I usually lean towards, or the more independent-minded ones and things like that. As a matter of fact, I'm really disappointed in Bernie Sanders, because he votes with a liberal agenda, and they definitely don't follow this concept of what he believes to be an independent person, or what he believes is the concept of socialism, which is really bizarre, because he proclaims he's a socialist, but he behaves in things that are definitely very capitalistic, which he says he doesn't like. So, anyway, I didn't mean to get off on that rant, but Rush Limbaugh was definitely more prevalent in my life in the late teens and into the early 2000s here before his passing. But he was born 70 years ago today. So the other thing, two things that were really interesting that were actually media related activities that happened. Apparently, in 1966, the original Batman movie with Adam West debuted. This is the one where I think this is the one where he and Robin were on the boat fighting with the Joker and the Penguin and all that jazz like that. I think even the Riddler was in that one. But that premiered on this day in 1966, and then the other one was on January 12th, 1971. Probably the most well-known TV series of all time, if not number two. I think it's number one because I never really cared for MASH as much. It just didn't speak to me as much. But this one, you'll probably know. By the way, Glenn Miller played songs that made me parade. Guys like us, we had it made. Those were the days. All in the Family. All in the Family. Did you watch All in the Family, Bear? No, Daddy. I was licking myself. I was busy. Oh, I know. That's okay. Can I drink it? No, you're a good boy. My Bubba Bear. Oh, my Bubba Lion's right there. My Bubba Lion's right there. There's Bubba Lion over there. Bubba Lion over there. Bubba Lion. He's always trying. He's the Bubba Lion. The Bubba Lion. Okay, so, I love you, Baby Lion. I love you, Baby Lion. So, All in the Family premiered on 1971, literally 42 years ago. Is that 40? No, I can't count math at all. Math sucks for me today. 52 years ago today, All in the Family, and it is still playing in rotation. It's really intriguing to me because if you ever watched interviews with Norman Lear was actually a liberal, and he did not like Archie Bunker. Archie Bunker, to him, was a representation of a society he did not like because he called him racist and all these things like that. But in the end, he actually ended up proving something true about Archie Bunker, which I don't know that he wanted to prove, which is he took things where he said that Norman Lear said this, that his father called him a meathead, and some of his friends meatheads for their perspectives as liberals. But what he ended up kind of proving to me by watching that show was it wasn't that Archie was racist. It was that he didn't want things to change to the point where the security of his family and his life were in question. And it had nothing to do with racism. That was just ignorance because he didn't know people. He hadn't grown up. People grew up in their own groups. It's just kind of like right now. Like if you and I, or whoever you are, who are you? Why are you looking at me? For me, if I right now said, well, I understand that all those guys and that live in this part of the city, they're violent and they're doing things and they're cheating on their wives and they're doing drugs and shooting each other and all this stuff like that. I don't know that. I don't know what people are doing in certain parts of the city. In Houston, there's Ward 5, Ward 4, Ward 3, Ward 2, Ward 1, blast off. No, there's all these different areas and different demographics of people live depending on that area. And it's because it's where they feel comfortable and it's where they feel like they can be in the style of the way they want to be. I don't think it's racist. I think people congregate in a group where they feel comfortable. And sometimes it's more diverse where the colors are a variety of colors, a variety of genders, a variety of, religious and political affiliations. And sometimes you congregate where you want to be, where people, the old Cheers perspective, where everybody knows your name and you can talk and understand each other and share the same philosophies. I mean, really kind of Cheers was kind of almost a segregated kind of concept story because they were all hanging out in this bar and they all pretty much shared the same perspective on things, except, they had this big storyteller and the guy who drank a lot of beer and seemed smart but just didn't do anything with his life. And they were all congregated based on their comfort for each other and they shared certain philosophies. But I don't think that Archie's perspective, even though that may have been what Norman Lear wanted to show, demonstrated him as being a racist. I think it demonstrated him as being a person who was concerned about the unknown because the little that he knew about those environments was all the bad news that he saw in movies and in media, which is why the media can be very, very dangerous. And so he made assumptions about that, and also based on the way people would tell him from his family. But they didn't know those people who lived in those parts of town any better than they knew them. But so it wasn't that he was a racist. It was just he was an uninformed person, and he unfortunately lived in ignorance. And media, in many ways, propagated that ignorance. It didn't strive to try. It just, instead of saying, let's try and understand people who live in this part of town, it said, because you don't understand them, that makes you a racist. Because you don't like the way they live, that makes you a bigot. That makes you prejudiced. That's not reality. That's not what he really was. Now that's what Norman Lear wanted to come across, but Archie ended up getting through anyway because of the terrific performance by Carol O'Connor, that he was just a guy who was just trying to grow as an individual, and he was resistant to change because he was scared of the unknown and what it would do to his family and what it would do to the world that he knew and that he felt comfortable in. That's not racist. That many people are that way. I mean, there are people who are black who don't like to see people marry people who are white, or people who are Asian, or don't people who are, Muslim, or vice versa, in many other ways. That's just a fear of something that the little that you know about them intimidates you because you're concerned it will alter the comfort of your circle of existence. And we all need to grow. But I don't think it comes out of a hateful perspective. I don't think black people who don't want to see white people in their neighborhood, it's because they're hateful. I think if they are concerned about it, it's because they're concerned about a lifestyle difference, and that it's going to alter a lifestyle that they're happy and they're comfortable in. Maybe you're a group of people who live in a more relaxed environment. You don't like people who are uptight and kind of overly this way or OCD about things. You like people who are, more calm and take it chill. That's just the way it is. And you get concerned if someone wants to come in and change you. It's just like a relationship. People put their best foot forward and always want to be happy in a relationship with someone. When they first meet them, they want to put their best foot forward. But eventually you start to show who you really are. And when you start to show who you really are, then maybe they want you to change. Oh, well, you could go do this and go do this and that. Well, they want you to change because they want you to fit into what's comfortable for them, and you don't want to change or resent being asked to change if you're smart, because you have the right to resist that, because you want your own comfort. And that's where frustration comes in. That's about relationships with people who share common beliefs and styles of living. It's not racist, it's not bigoted, it's not prejudicial, it's just comfort, the comfort of your existence, and everybody has the right to be that way. And if you're not happy in something and you're not comfortable in it, well, first off, don't get married to someone, or don't start living in an area with people if you expect them to change for you, or they expect you to change for them. You change as you want to, and you find yourself in the environment that you want to be in because you want to be happy and you want to be comfortable, and you don't want to be constantly expected to do things or change the way you think or whatever. You should be able to evolve to that as you want to, if you want to. Anyway, getting off that. Those are the things in history today that I thought were interesting. And it's been a pretty good day so far. I've enjoyed the editing process. It is a little trippy. It takes a little more time, obviously, because of my site. But I am glad to be doing this. It just motivates me. Let's use slowly words, Kingsley. Maybe this is too slow. Excuse me, still have some congestion. A little bit of crud left. Anyway, so that's been the day so far. Hope you've had a great day. Excuse me. Hope you've had a great day. Where's the puppy? Where's the puppy bear? Where's the puppy going? Where's the puppy bear? Oh, what a good arch. Come here. Come sit. Come sit. You want to say anything to the folks? Hello, folks. My name is Bear, and I'm a happy dog. Come here, Simba. Come sit. Want to say anything to the... Come sit. Want to say anything to the folks?
I'm Simba. I like it when Daddy pets me.
Okay. Good boys. Good boys. Good boys. My special boys. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Be blessed. Oh, did not drink any water today. Did not get anything done on the packing today. 49 days as of today. 48 as of tomorrow. So literally, it's literally less than 7 weeks now before the move. All right, got to finish this. Got to get to packing. I do have some things I can start packing. I just need to get into it. Get it. Get it. God bless. Take care of yourselves. Smile. Pet your puppies. Hug your children. Hug your wife. Hug your husband. Hug your person you are in love with. Hug your family. Hug a tree if you like. Hug a tree. Hug it. Ain't nothing wrong with hugging a tree. I mean, you know, don't do any inappropriate things with the tree. Guys, just be. That's a different lifestyle. Well, maybe that's your lifestyle. I don't want to see it. Good luck. Have fun with it and watch the bark. Definitely wear protection. I think this just went to a weird place. It went to a weird place. I've got to go. Need to take my pills. What kind of pills do I take? Probably need a high dose. The red and the blue and the green and the blue and the purple and the blue and the green. Yeah. Little loopy. Take it easy. Have a great day. Have a great evening. Have a great life. Be well. God bless.